is up? It is so good to be here. I feel like I haven't done one of these in forever because I think it was actually the beginning of the summer the last time I did a live stream. So, hello, my name's Rachel, and a couple of things have changed actually since the beginning of the summer. So I'm really excited to jump right in. I launched a new product today, so I thought that we could chat about that for a second, but just good things all around. I'd love to hear how you're doing because this summer has been wild. I don't know about you, but it's been something for me, and I'll tell you a little bit more of like what I've been up to and just kind of the craziness. I have not talked about this honestly anywhere, so yeah, let's just jump right in. Let's start off with the products that I am going to be talking about today. So earlier this week I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to really get into gear. I need to, just start getting ready for the bull run because I want to be in a good spot and not feel like I'm scrambling as all of us hope for as we're getting into crypto and as we're getting into our next bull run. So I was like, oh, I just need like a spreadsheet or something that I can track everything in. So once I started thinking about that, I was like, oh my gosh, wait a second. If I need this, I'm assuming probably someone else would use this too. And so I asked people on some of my different social medias, and they thought it was a great idea and that they would want it as well. So I made it this week for us. I launched it today. And it's 50% off right now, which makes it like $5, which is basically nothing to buy a little thing. So I'm going to show you it. Let me share my screen with everyone. I feel like I'm definitely in a work meeting where everyone's like, oh, let me share my screen. And I always find that so funny because it's literally me. Perfect. All right, so this is it. It is your crypto exit strategy cheat sheet. I've been talking about crypto strategy exiting since March actually, and I've gone into what my crypto strategy is with exiting because the last time that I, went through a bull run, it was really exciting. But the part that wasn't as exciting is that I never cashed out on anything. So I was like, that is absolutely not going to happen this time around. And so that's why I wanted to be prepared, because I watched all my money go up way high and then go way low, which is okay. Here we are. We're here for it. Glad I learned that in my first cycle because I am never going to do that again. And that's why I'm talking about this. So this is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. This is just a way that you can use a spreadsheet, and I'll show you the spreadsheet in a second. All right, so this is where you buy it. If you want the code, like I said, it's 50% off today. It's in the description if you are interested in that, and it's just on my website. So cryptobestie.io is where you can find that. Ooh, and let's see. Someone just commented, and let's say hi to the comments. Thank you. All right, Knox Bill, what is up? Good to see you. Streams and X, wonderful. Honestly, it is so nice. Hex Glenn said, hey, Rachel. Hey, Glenn. So good to see you. I actually got to see Glenn in person a couple weeks ago. No round tripping allowed. Yep, nope, not at all. Turn down the music. Awesome, love it. Hi, Igor. Thanks so much for being here. And Ike, what is up? Good to see you guys. I'm so glad you're here. I was talking about at the beginning that this is the first time I've streamed in a while. This summer's been crazy, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. But this summer has honestly been a little crazy in a really good way, but it has been a little crazy. And I launched a product today, so I thought, you know what? Today's the day. Today's the day I'm going to get back into live streaming again. Because what would be more fitting than this? All right, so that right there, that's where you're going to find it, cryptobestie.io. Within the products, and it's a crypto exit strategy cheat sheet. If you want to use the code, it's 1 day only in all caps, but it should also be linked below too. So there is that. I will also show you the actual sheet itself, which I don't think I have it pulled up. I've definitely been the person recently that will have a million tabs open, but there's some that I don't want to close down, so I like won't close out the entire thing, the entire window, and I feel like it's getting me in trouble because I don't know where anything is at now. It's like every single little tab is its own individual like icon. That's how many tabs are open. It's okay. Okay, so if we jump in here, I'm going to show you the example one that I have. And like this. Perfect. Okay. So this is just an example. If you come in and get the exit strategy cheat sheet, you'll be able to just have the template that goes through and has all the formulas. Definitely took a second to get all the formulas working, and I have a Google Sheets version and then an Excel version because what do you know, they have different calculation type things. But here's my example. So this is just for honestly rounding purposes is why I did it like this, because it's going to be so much easier than having kind of like weird numbers going around. So the coin that we're looking at is Bitcoin. I am saying that I have 10 and the current price is 70,000. This is an example, not financial advice anymore, but I go through and you have the option to do 10 different landmark cells, which you can use that many, you don't have to, but they're there. So what you're going to do in the input section is you're going to say the increase amount that you want to sell out at. So the coin increase amount has to go up by 50%, and then I want to sell 10% of my bag. So then it will give me the sell price, which is 105,000. It tells me to sell one, and then my profit from just that would be 35,000. Even if I'm going to sell one, it would be 105, but the profit on top of what I put in, say 70,000, would be the 35,000. And so that goes throughout this whole entire thing. And then it gives you the total profit and then the total amount of coins sold. So pretty simple. Definitely took me a lot more time than I expected just to make sure that all of the cells were working properly and everything like that. But yeah, so there's that. That is the cheat sheet. And like I said, not financial advice. This is you going through and deciding how you want it to be yourself. I don't talk about the coins at all that you should be selling. I don't talk about when you should be selling it. This is just a tool for you to be able to go in and actually be organized. Because that's one of my biggest things is I love being organized. Ever since I was little, it definitely like in interviews is my biggest thing. I'm like, organization. That's my strong suit here. So that was the point in doing this because I personally wanted it. I thought, what kind of bestie am I if I don't share this with my other crypto besties? So here we are. If you have questions about it, feel free to put it in the comments and I'll get back to you on those. Let's see. Believe on the Lord Jesus Christ. Okay, this is actually a great segment. So I'll tell you what I've been up to this summer. In June, and I've been planning on doing this anyways, but I really took the step in like late May, early June. I 100% completed all the classes I needed to complete to become a credentialed minister. It was crazy. I ended up figuring out that I added on 30 extra hours every single like week that I was doing it. I think it ended up taking me like 4 or 5 weeks. 30 extra hours onto just like my normal life and work and everything. So I definitely took a step back from crypto for a second. But I got all that done, went through the process of the application, and I have my test coming up. And then if I pass the tests, then I have an interview. And then if I pass the interview, I will be a credentialed minister. So I'm way excited about that because it has been a lot of work. And currently I work as the director of kids ministry at a church. And that's been so much fun, being able to just do like all the events within that. And then also being able to, you know, just like talk about Jesus with the kids, because that's my favorite thing ever. So that's been a huge part of my summer, is getting that schooling done. If you know me, if you know anything about my story, you know that school is a big part of who I am. And I just absolutely love school. I ended up getting my bachelor's degree in computer science, and then I have an MBA in IT management. So tech is definitely my type of thing. So it's been cool to kind of like take a step back in a little bit of a way and do school in the perspective of studying the Bible. Anyways, I have enjoyed it very much so. And if you're interested in stuff like that, I highly recommend, because it was a good experience. Good experience for me. And now I get to study for my test, and I haven't started studying yet. And actually, I'll probably do that tonight. So that was a huge part of my summer. The kids stuff and doing like the different kids events ended up being pretty big. I didn't realize that scheduling one event a month was going to be huge, because I like went all out for these different events. One of them we did a chalk party, and I like made a maze out of chalk and did like a shape maze too. It was so cool. Like, as a kid, if I was the kid attending the event, I would have been all for it. And then I also made a whole entire escape room in the kids' church. So we like had this candy factory, and there was a mishap, so we had to escape. Anyways, it was way cool. But obviously those things take time. So those were big parts of my summer. And then another big part of my summer, and this might be a little bit of a TMI, so I'm so sorry. Plug your ears if you don't want to hear this. I was super sick in July. I thought I had a parasite. Long story short, everything came back negative. I still don't know what I had, but they gave me medicine to like fight a parasite. It helped, and I am 100% better now, but I didn't have any parasites. So thank God, like, I didn't have any parasites. But at the exact same time, I still don't know what I had, and I had it for like a month, and the doctor was like, this is not normal, like, you're not okay. But the medicine helped. So that was a big part of my summer too, because, you know, when you're sick, is no bueno. It does not work out very well. But yeah, so those are a couple of things that have been going on this summer. And then I went to the Bitcoin conference, and that was so cool. I've never been to one of the Bitcoin conferences before, and I went to the one that was in Nashville. And I've never also ever been to Nashville, and it was a crazy experience. Like, seriously, so much fun. It was awesome because I got to be at a booth and kind of like represent a booth while I was there. And I got to meet so many people while I was there too. So if I met you at that event, it was awesome. I know I saw Glenn at the event, so it was so good to see Glenn. I saw a lot of other Hexicans and Pulsicans too, and then I met a lot of other people as well. And so the booth that I was at the Highest of Stakes movie booth, the documentary, and I got to talk about the documentary for basically 3 days straight, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single day. And it seriously was cool. Like, one of the cool experiences that I had is I wasn't selling anything. Like, some of the booths were, obviously, but I wasn't selling anything. I was just telling people to, you know, watch the documentary. And so people would like come up to the booth and be like, hey, like, what's this? You know, whatever. And I tell them, oh, it's a crypto documentary. And immediately, like, they had buy-in to what it was because they were interested in it. Which, I mean, who wouldn't be? Like, a crypto documentary that follows several different people and also shows you, like, the good and the bad of crypto. Anyways, it was great. And I know a lot of people actually ended up watching it because I've had people message me and be like, hey, I saw this. So that was great news, being able to see that and just be able to interact with different people, you know, as I got to be at that booth. It was definitely a long time to be there. And I was just recovering from my little sickness thing. So it was obviously very draining. But those type of events are totally my thing, because right after I was done at like 4 or 5 p.m. every day, then it was off to whatever events we had. So it was definitely a very packed, that's a good word, a very packed couple of days while I was in Nashville. I feel like I didn't really get to see Nashville. I got to see some of Broadway because my Airbnb that I stayed in was right next to it. So it was like the block over from like the Broadway street. Oh my gosh. I have never seen something like that before in my entire life. And I've been to many, many different places, but the party scene that is there was wild. And being someone that was like staying in an Airbnb right next to it, oh my gosh, it was so loud. But you know what? Here for every experience that Nashville had, and it was a lot of fun. So if you've never been to one of the Bitcoin conferences, I would highly recommend going. I didn't get to see any of the talks just because I was at the booth the whole time, but the connections that I made were super cool because like I wasn't going up to people to meet them. Like people were going to see me to see what the booth was. So grateful for everyone that put on that booth and who let me be able to, you know, like be that person that represented them. Let's see. People's time watching these things should be respected. I don't know what you mean, but yes, I agree. You should be respected. Let's see. We have a couple more people on, so I'm going to go over one more time what this whole thing is about. So I launched another product today, and if you know anything about any of my products, I actually have an entire product suite. I offer 2 different courses and then have a couple of different guides for people. And this week I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to get ready for the bull run. So I was super pumped, super excited, you know, just to see what was going to happen and get ready for being able to just like have sell points instead of, you know, being at a spot where it's like, I have no clue when I want to sell. No, we can have it planned out and it's a good thing. So that is what this cheat sheet is it's a spreadsheet where you can go in and you can put the percentage at what the coin increases to and how much you want to sell. And then once you have that all together, you can go and put sell orders. I think I forgot to say that one earlier, but you can use the information to be able to go put in sell orders. Anyways, if you want it, it's 50% off for the next 24 hours. So I think, and actually I know, I put the link down in the comments, but if you don't see it, it is, let me make sure before I type this out. If you go to cryptobestie.io and go to products and find the crypto exit strategy sheet, the code is 1 day only. So go in and check that out. And I think that this is definitely something that's relevant. I think we're maybe a couple of months ahead within what's going to, you know, happen within the next year. But we are at a good point in the cycle that, you know, we should be making these choices, making these decisions, because it's always best to be prepared. Because last time I wasn't. And I would hope that we can overcome that because that happened last time. Okay, let's see. Any questions? Any thoughts? I'd love to hear how, you know, you've been and everything like that. Interesting. Been bragging about you, your channel, your importance to young girls for 2 years. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. I honestly just love being able to, you know, be in the position that I have within this. Someone was telling me today, they're like, your business is so cool that you get to do this. And I love it. It's honestly so awesome. And I'm so grateful that I get to be the person that helps other people get into crypto. Like, what a dream come true. It's definitely been a lot of work. And, you know, there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes. But there's so much that I love to it too. Like creating this exit strategy cheat sheet thing. I was like, oh my goodness. Every single part of the process is something that I really actually truly love. I love the actual content creation and the creativity that it takes to, you know, create an Excel sheet. I got to do a little bit of coding within an Excel sheet with some if statements. And I was like, this is so basic, but I love it. I'm here for every moment of that. And then being able to, you know, create the different like marketing things, like going live, even, you know, anything that comes within that like has been super cool too. And then I've been, you know, making different like stories and stuff. So I love the process. I love the people that I get to surround myself with within this whole process. Like I was saying, you know, I got to go to the Bitcoin conference a couple weeks ago, and that was so fun because I got to meet, it was crazy. Some people came up to me, and I'm no longer going by Fashion Coder. I did a little bit of rebrand into a personal rebrand to myself, Rachel Lobb. But a couple of people came up to me and they're like, wait, you're Fashion Coder. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I am. Like, oh my, it was so cool. Such a cool experience being able to meet some of you at the conference. And then I got to see some people too that I've met at other conferences that just so happened to be there. I don't know, like what a world we get to live in with the internet and being able to, you know, be able to connect in such a way that you get to meet people in person you've been talking to online. Oh, I don't know. It's one of my favorite things. So it's been really cool. And I was talking about this earlier. Glenn, he's in the comments. I got to see him for maybe the second or third time I've ever met him in person. So that was super cool. And, you know, Maddie Allen was there, so I got to hang out with him. Absolutely love him. I got to meet some other people like Archetype and lots of other people, like big name people that are within crypto too. So it was cool. It's definitely an event to go to, and it was different than lots of the other events that I've gone to in the past, but it was so neat. Well, I'm going to end this because I actually need to go and study, but thanks so much for being here. I hope you know that I just have so much care and love for you in my heart, and I'm so grateful that you're here and along for this journey within crypto together, because we're crypto besties. And I hope you have a wonderful Friday evening, if that's the time of day that you're in, or whatever time you're at. And I will see you guys later. All right. Bye.